In a stunning and unexpected turn of events, scientists have made a shocking discovery at the Euphrates River that has sent shockwaves throughout the world. This discovery has left even the most skeptical experts scratching their heads and wondering if it could be a new sign of the rapture. The implications of this revelation are enormous and have many people on edge, wondering what the future holds for humanity. In this video, we'll dive deep into the details of this astonishing event and explore the various theories and explanations surrounding it. So get ready for a dramatic and thought-provoking discussion that will leave you on the edge of your seat. Let's dive in. The Euphrates River has religious importance for several major religions. In the Jewish and Christian traditions, the river is mentioned in the Bible as one of the 4 rivers that flowed out of the Garden of Eden. Genesis chapter 2, verse 14. It is also referred to in the book of Revelation as the location of a future battle between good and evil. Revelation chapter 16, verse 12. There is an alarming drop in water levels at the Euphrates River which has not been witnessed since the dam's completion in 1999. Recently, scientists discovered the river has been drying, and the countries that should be helping, like Syria and Turkey, have preferred to be neutral or even totally against the river's recovery. We know that the Battle of Armageddon will take place after Euphrates dries up. According to the Bible, the battle will take place at a place called Armageddon, which is believed to be a symbolic location rather than a specific geographical place. It is believed to be a reference to the ancient city of Megiddo, which was the site of several important battles in ancient times. The battle is described in Revelation chapter 16, verse 16, which states, "And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon." The battle is said to involve the armies of the world gathering together to fight against Jesus Christ and his armies, who will ultimately emerge victorious. The idea of the Battle of Armageddon has been interpreted in various ways throughout history, with some seeing it as a literal battle that will take place in the future, while others see it as a symbolic representation of the ultimate victory of good over evil. It is often associated with apocalyptic and end times theology and has been a subject of fascination and debate among religious scholars and enthusiasts for centuries. For a long time, people have been researching the end of time, and they want to know the exact time before the world is destroyed. We know that the Euphrates River drying up is a sign of apocalypse. The drying up of the Euphrates River is mentioned in the Bible in the book of Revelation as a sign of the end times. According to Revelation chapter 16, verse 12, "And the 6th angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared." Many Christians interpret this passage as a prophecy of a time when the Euphrates River will literally dry up, making the way for armies to cross over and engage in a final battle at Armageddon. This interpretation is often associated with apocalyptic or end times theology and is seen as a sign of the imminent return of Jesus Christ. Genesis chapter 2 verses 10 through 14 describe the 4 rivers that flowed out of the Garden of Eden. A river watering the garden flowed from Eden. From there it was separated into 4 headwaters. The name of the first is the Pishon. It winds through the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of that land is good, aromatic resin and onyx are also there. The name of the second river is the Gihon. It winds through the entire land of Cush. The name of the third river is the Tigris. It runs along the east side of Ashur. And the 4th river is the Euphrates. These verses describe the Euphrates River as one of the 4 rivers that flowed out of the Garden of Eden. The river is described as a source of life and fertility and is associated with the abundance of natural resources that characterize the Garden of Eden. The description of the river highlights its importance as a source of water and agricultural resources, which sustained the ancient civilizations of the Near East. Many people are reporting the angelic cries from the Euphrates. Some interpret this as a warning from the angels about the world's impending doom. It has caused such a large uproar that some people are already suspecting that the end is clearly near. There are dams built on the Euphrates River, but Egypt's Aswan Dam is one of the most visible dams constructed on it. The construction of these dams has caused severe environmental problems. It has caused an increase in the amount of salt in the water and a sudden decrease in the amount of water in the river. As one of the most significant rivers in the world, this has been worrisome in some circles, but the expected nations like Turkey and Syria have done little to nothing about it. It points out that some power in the world wants the Euphrates River to dry up at all costs. They seem interested in the river drying up. This can't be anything other than the great Armageddon that is about to come. The Bible tells us Armageddon will occur immediately after the river dries. One may think the river will have to force itself to dry, but this is different. Some human impacts are needed for the sea to dry up on time. This is in the interest of some principalities and powers. The dramatic rise in global temperatures is caused by global power who wants to dry up the river. We are sad to break it to you, but following the Bible means the angels are about to emerge from the Euphrates River. Is this a significant omen? In the Bible verse Revelation chapter 9 verses 13 to 19 describe the sixth trumpet judgment, which includes a vision of a great army of horsemen. The sixth angel sounded his trumpet, and I heard a voice coming from the four horns of the golden altar that is before God. It is said to the sixth angel who had the trumpet, "Release the four angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates." And the four angels who had been kept ready for this very hour and day and month and year were released to kill a third of mankind. The number of the mounted troops was twice 10,000 times 10,000. I heard their number. The horses and riders I saw in my vision looked like this. Their breastplates were fiery red, dark blue, and yellow as sulfur. The heads of the horses resembled the heads of lions, and out of their mouths came fire, smoke, and sulfur. A third of mankind was killed by the three plagues of fire, smoke, and sulfur that came out of their mouths. The power of the horses was in their mouths and in their tails, for their tails were like snakes, having heads with which they inflict injury. These verses describe a vision of a great army of horsemen who are released from the Euphrates River by four angels who had been bound there. The horsemen are described as having breastplates of fiery red, dark blue, and yellow as sulfur, and the horses themselves are said to have heads resembling lions, with the ability to breathe out fire, smoke, and sulfur. The horsemen are given the power to kill a third of mankind through the use of these plagues. These verses are often interpreted as a symbolic description of a great and destructive military force that will emerge from the east, possibly from the region surrounding the Euphrates River. For a long time we have been getting different signs about rapture, but the global media is trying to distract us from the obvious signs of rapture. People are not paying attention to things like this. They are always seeking information about their favorite celebrities. In this age, useless information is easily spread around the whole world. Is the rapture really happening, and are we waiting for the rapture? The flying angels wearing white robes and the constant cries from the Euphrates River are indications before the rapture, and you must understand this truth. We cannot predict the dates and timing of the rapture. No prior warnings would be given. Jesus Christ would arrive and take you to heaven during the rapture. We should always be prepared, as our Lord Jesus Christ will come anytime soon. Matthew chapter 24 verses 36 to 39 are part of Jesus' teaching about the end times and his second coming. These verses read, "But about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. For in the days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark. and they knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them all away. That is how it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. These verses emphasize the idea that the exact timing of Jesus' second coming is unknown, and that it will come unexpectedly like the flood in the days of Noah. The people in Noah's time were caught off guard by the flood because they were preoccupied with their everyday lives and unaware of the impending disaster. Similarly, the return of Jesus will be sudden and unexpected, and people must be prepared at all times for his coming. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of the new rapture sign that has recently appeared at the Euphrates River. We hope that you found this video informative and thought-provoking, and that it has inspired you to reflect on the deeper meaning of this mysterious phenomenon. As we continue to think about the significance of this new rapture sign at the Euphrates River, let us remember the importance of staying open-minded, respectful, and empathetic in our discussions and interactions. Whether you see this event as a divine prophecy, a natural phenomenon, or something else entirely, let us continue to approach it with curiosity and a desire for understanding. We encourage you to share your thoughts and insights in the comments below, and to continue exploring this topic with your own communities and circles. If you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.